Hello, how are you guys? Yes, I've gone a little bit red and I'm all dressed up with nowhere to go. But that's the joy of being in lockdown. I just decided it's a new moon day or new moon evening, and the new moon is in the house of fun and creativity, children, romance. For that's the house for me this month, which is I can do with a bit of fun. And so I thought, yeah, I'm gonna dress up especially for you guys here. The last new moon was very powerful. They're all very powerful this year. But it was in my house of home and family, and it was so powerful, in fact, that during it my granddaughter, my incense is going everywhere, my granddaughter had a serious head injury, and it also made me realise I'm a bit far away from my children and my granddaughter, so my house is up for sale now. So yeah, it was so powerful that my house went on the market during that moon cycle, and there was a bit family crisis, but it actually brought us all so closer together. So every month we have the opportunity to deal with whichever house the moon is in. So I would say find out what your rising sign is, your ascending sign. Everyone thinks that astrology is it's your sun sign is the most important. That's the sign that we think we are. Yeah, so I'm a Leo. Yeah, probably I'm a little bit Leo-ish. But your ascendant or rising sign is what you project out to the world and what people see you as. I'm a Gemini rising, which probably explains a lot. There's a little bit of that never really growing up and wanting to really communicate with people and be part of the communities. I don't like being isolated out here by myself. So yeah, I'm a Gemini rising, and it's very interesting because I've spoken to some of you guys about the North Node and South Node. Any of you yogis or any human beings, we're all looking for our dharmic path. We want to know why we're here. We want to know what our dharma is. The dharma is what's your soul here to do in this lifetime. Your North Node is that. Yeah, and you're going, what the hell is she on about? Your South Node is your karmic path. This is where you've come from other lives, and what you feel really comfortable with, what you can do really easily. My North Node is Capricorn. My South Node is Cancer. So I find it very easy to be a nurturer and a mother, but I have to step out of that role. I'm not going to stop being a mum. Obviously, I love that, and it's what I will always want to be, but my dharmic path is the Capricorn way, so that is more about almost like coming into the father role and fathering myself, and it's more about my business. So here I am, my business, but I'm also able to nurture too. So using your karmic abilities to perform your dharma. So interestingly, my youngest daughter, her North Node is Gemini, so she's Sagittarian South Node, so she's very much about, she likes to study, and I'm really about trying to get her to have more fun with me, which irritates her slightly. But I'm Gemini rising, she's Gemini North Node, so she needs to find a little bit. She doesn't do small talk very much, so it's time to get out there. So anyway, enough of my stuff, but find out what your North Node is, and it really helps you guide you, or find out what your kids are or your partners, and you can really have more of an understanding and make even wiser choices. And yoga isn't about how flexible you are on the mat, how great you look on the mat, or any of that malarkey. Yoga is practicing self-awareness, and it's about the more you practice self-awareness, the more you can make wise choices. So by working with the moon every moon cycle, knowing where it is in your house, so I do it with the new moon and the full moon. Let's see where this one is. So just now we're in the darkest phase. I don't know if everyone's been feeling it. Yesterday was the balsamic moon, and it's really the germination phase. Your energy's low. I actually really was called to use a lot of, I'm not really a huge prop person. I don't use proper props. I just pile it all in, but I needed support, nurturing and support in all ways. And instead of thinking, oh, I'm lacking, I gave myself that. So I had a day of yoga nidra and restorative yoga. I also supported my children and my students, and I work. So, but I also made sure I practiced self-care. And I think you can't hold others' space if you can't hold your own. So the energy's feeling a bit lighter now. We're in the dark side of the moon. So this is really, I think it's very powerful. So I always, in the dark side of the moon, before it hits, so the new moon is about 8:30 tonight, which is Friday night. So if you find that you want to do a new moon ritual and you miss 8:30 on the new moon or just before the new moon, I would say wait 24 hours because the moon goes void after that and it's not so powerful. So wait to do your new moon intentions and wishes 24 hours after 8:30. We're in Scotland, just in case some of you, I know I've got some Americans that are my friends on these social media malarkeys. So yeah. So we're in the dark side of the moon. So by doing that, I've already done my stuff. So I had my blue lotus flower tea, you know, I've been doing a lot of my meditations, and it was very much what you need to release fear-wise. So you do that a lot with the full moon. The full moon is about forgiveness and letting go and gratitude. But it's quite handy, the darkest part of the moon, to really get rid of that last remnants, so you're really opening up to what's coming forward. Okay, so the new moon, it's always the doorway to a fresh start. I've got, I always, every new moon and every full moon, I read so many different things from so many different sources, and I make my own notes, so I make sense of it. That's my kind of learning style. And I do it every month, and every 2 weeks for myself. And that's why I've ended up doing this moon group thing, because, it's something that I do anyway. So I thought I'll share it with you. You don't have to listen to me. I know I can be quite irritating, so you don't have to listen to me if you don't want to. It's all fine. So anyway, yes, the new moon is a cosmic doorway to a fresh start. And new moons allow us to shed old skin and break ground for new cycles. And this is a super moon. And the super moon means it's like the closest it is to the earth. And this super moon, this is the one that's the closest to the earth in 2020. So this is one of the most powerful new moons there is, because you feel the intensity and the energy of it. And I know a lot of my students and friends have been really feeling this one. So let's have hope and faith, and it's all good. There's no such thing as bad or wrong, especially if you're a tantrika. So the start of every lunation, it marks the ideal time to pursue an emotional and spiritual reboot. So every month, the sun and the moon, they conjoin in an area of the sky and they create a new moon. Hear the old wifeys outside. No wonder I'm selling up. They're just making such a racket, tell you. Anyway, so the new moon represents the end of a cycle. So I'm saying goodbye to that cycle where I was honouring the home and family. My home's on the market, and then my granddaughter's healing from her head injury. And obviously I'm still here with my home and my family. But my thing now, this month, is about fun, romance, and all that sort, and creativity and new projects and stuff like that. And I've got lots of stuff going on. I've got an interview with the editor of Om Magazine. I've got to speak to him. That's going to be published in December's issue of Om Magazine, and I've recently written an article that's being published. It's coming out this week in Om Magazine about how to be a good yoga teacher. So that's very exciting stuff. That's creative, and also stepping out my fear, because that's a little bit scary. I've got a little bit of imposter syndrome there. It's like me? What the hell? Anyway, I'm going to stop gibbering on and carry on with this new moon stuff. You can tell the moon's making me a little bit crazy and hanging about by myself with cats, hence I'm dressing up in weird stuff and everything now. Anyway, the new moon is a time for planning and seeding your intentions, and seedlings need a period of gestation before they break through the soil and reach for the sunlight. So this is true for cultivating our ideas and clearing the way for our visions to surface in reality. So that's what we're doing in the dark side of the moon. And then we're going to, so this is when it's offering a nurturing environment. This is right now, we're offering that nurturing environment where intentions can establish roots before our miraculous manifestations begin to sprout and reach out to the stars. So each month at the new moon, rededicate your intentions by renewing your list with a repeated ritual. And I have to say, I've been doing this since lockdown, really making sure that every moon cycle I do a ritual and I dedicate it to the house that it's in, and really set my intentions. I really work with the forgiveness and the gratitude, and I have to say it's like alchemy. It's amazing. Okay, I'm not trying to form a cult or anything. Just try it for yourself, or you don't have to. Okay, so it's up to us to set our intentions and choose the direction we want to head into. So new moons are like seeds, and they need to be planted and fertilized and tended to with care. So to find out where your house is for the new moon is find out what your rising sign is. If you can, a good website I've found for pointing my friends and students into finding what their North Node is a website called Cafe Astrology. So you can find out what your ascending or rising sign is there, and then from there, once you find out what that is, you can find out what house your moon is in from doing a little bit more investigation, or speak to me and I can tell you what it is. But knowing what to focus on is actually making your intentions even more focused, can make them more stronger and powerful. Okay, Mars is actually in Aries just now. That's why there's all this and I went a bit red, as you can see. You've got no control over where you go or who you hang about with or what you're allowed to do. You've got control over your hair color, being a weirdo, wearing things that look like ball gowns in your own house. Why not? So Mars is in Aries, and Mars is in Aries in my chart. So it means that if you're a woman, so it means that if you've got Mars in Aries, you're more attracted to alpha males. Somebody's a wet blanket. It's not really, it's very nice, but not for me. It also it means you get things done. You actually just get things done. So, people that know me know that, I don't hang about. Once I've made that decision, I gather all the information, get it done. It's also your kind of drive and sexuality. But interestingly enough, your Venus sign, so if you're a man, where Mars lies, that is your love style. That is how you love. For Venus, for women, that's your love style. Mine's Virgo, unfortunately, which means that I'm a bit of a fixer. I didn't realize, I just recently found out I'm Venus and Virgo, and that makes sense. I kind of fix them and set them free into the wilderness, so I need to kind of stop doing that. But it's not that I don't love them. But anyway, Venus is in Virgo right now too, which means it's a little bit, you feel that these people can be a little bit critical, but it's about being honest. They're doing it from love. Okay, so if you've ever felt that I've maybe been, people that know me know if I love them, I am brutally honest with them. So you know where you stand with me, really. But I don't mean to be offensive by being brutally honest. That's a Venus in Virgo. If you love somebody, you're honest, but it's almost to that sense that it's a little bit brutal and you don't realize. So now I'm aware. Also with men, where your Venus is what you're attracted to, and your kind of your sexuality and stuff, the way your sex drive is and stuff like that. So that's one to look at as well if you go into, you know, cafe astrology. But that's irrelevant to the new moon right now. It's astrology though, and it's very interesting. The more you find out about yourself and others, the more you're able to, make better choices. Okay, so coming back to the new moon, it normally, so it's I would say, well, normally I'm flashing and everything now, my goodness. If it's a full moon, that when you write down, that's about forgiveness and gratitude. You write it all down, and I normally, after I've done my ritual, I will burn it and set it free. With my new moon ritual, I will write my intentions and my manifestations and my wishes, and I will keep that. And every new moon I look at it, so normally every full moon you look at your new moon intentions, see what's working, see what isn't working, let go of some of the stuff, let go of some of the intentions, because you're clearing the path, clearing the way. So you come back into the new moon, and it's a different focus, it's a different house you're in as well. But I keep hold of them and see where I'm at with that, and then you let that one go and come into the new moon. So I work with goddesses and deities. I know my kids are like, what the hell? She dyed her hair red. She's dancing about the house, doing the priestess stuff. And now she's like speaking about goddesses and all that. But it works for me. And if it works for me, I'm not harming anyone, okay? So the goddess for a new moon, I would say Durga. Durga is, she's known as the invincible one. There's a lot of warrior women in the goddesses in the Hindu mythology. My goddess, and I think the goddess of 2020 is Kali. A lot of my students know this, and I've even got a big thing of Kali. But Kali is the goddess, the destroyer, and everyone is like, oh my God, stay away from Kali. She'll like, but she loves fiercely, but she clears the way, clears everything. Durga is another one that clears the battlefield. And then I'll tell you the little story of Durga. I am blathering on a little bit, I am aware, so I'm going to try and get to the point. But Durga is, the story of Durga and how she was created. I do love the little Hindu stories. I'll tell you it briefly, I won't go into huge detail. So anyway, there was a demon. There's always demons involved. There was a demon called Mahisha, and Mahisha, he took the form of a buffalo, and he wanted to take over the three worlds. So the world of the gods, the world of the demons, and earth. So he needed a boon from Brahma. So he prostrated for a long time. And so he honored the gods. He did a lot of the worshipping. If anyone's wondering what that is, I'm using a lot of words. I don't want to make assumptions that you know what I'm speaking about. And the Lord Brahma said, oh, I'm very pleased with your devotion. What can I grant you? And Mahisha said, I want to be immortal. And Brahma says, I cannot do that. I can't make you immortal. But well, I wish I could be killed by no man or no god. So Brahma said, okay then, I'll give you that. So Mahisha went off, he was feeling really invincible. He went and conquered the demon world, he conquered earth, he pushed the gods out of heaven, and the gods were not very joyful about this. So they ran to Lord Brahma and they were like, what the hell's going on? Well, they didn't say what the hell's going on because that would be ridiculous. But they were like, we're really quite upset. What can we do? How are we going to, he's destroying everything. So Shiva and Vishnu, two of the other gods, they got together, they combined their Shakti, their power, and they created this massive ball of light. And from that ball of light, Durga appeared, this goddess, the invincible one. She had 10 arms and she had a different weapon for each hand. And she was riding along a tiger, and you know, some of my yoga students, like I tell them that a lot of the gods and goddess in the Hindu mythology have an animal to ride on, and I always think it's funny that Ganesha, the elephant-headed Hindu god, rides about in a little mouse. So just my sense of humor. But anyway, Durga rides a tiger. Sometimes you can see her on a lion. It can, you know, stories could be different, but don't worry about that. It's not so relevant because we're really speaking about the new moon here. So so she rode into battle. She slayed the demons, the leaders of Mahisha's army, and there was a huge battle, 9 days. So 9's quite 9 is quite well, there's 9 months it takes 9 months to to have a baby. So it's a relevant number. So she was on the 10th day, she cut off Mahisha's head. So basically, they're cutting off heads all the time as well. In some of these Hindu stories, I have to let you know, that's why Ganesha has an elephant head. His dad cut his head off. That's another story. I'll tell you another day. Anyway, so Durga can clear the battlefield for us. So it's a new moon. We need to just clear all the crap out because we are wanting new beginnings. So this is an open path for the new cycle of creation. So it's about letting go of our egoic tendencies. It's about, you know, it's really about just really empowering your aspirations and calling forth the leader within, empowering yourself. So yeah, this whole 2020 is like, we have had to, there's no escape from ourselves. Everyone's been too busy, or they're able to escape a little bit. My thing was jumping on a plane. I used to like to travel all the time, and I realized that was escaping from things as well. That was my thing. And by having to be and face your stuff, the only way you can reach the light properly is by really facing that darkness. And everyone's got their shit. By facing it, you can transmute it, and that's how you reach the light. You can try and reach for that light by suppressing the dark, but it's going to come out in not very nice ways, and you can see that happening all over the world. And we're all feeling a little bit helpless. What can we do? Well, we need to work on ourselves. So instead of externally looking around us going, oh my God, I need to help. If we feel helpless, what can we do? We can work on ourselves. Let's work on raising our own vibrations. The more people that have got their vibrational frequency is higher, we're going to raise the collective consciousness vibrational frequency. So there's that collective consciousness of fear right now, and we need to help to transmute that, and by just working on ourselves. So with this new moon, I work with Durga. I've been working with Kali quite a bit just recently. Kali's clearing the way and this finding empowerment. There's also a bit of the red thing as well. It's a bit of Lakshmi, but this is more moving more forward into another cycle of the moon. But Lakshmi is about abundance, but she's about hard work. It's you're not receiving just because you're you're not wishing for something and then it just comes to you. This is you're not getting abundance just because you've asked for it. This is very much about working hard for it, and the more you figure out. So this new moon, you're manifesting and setting intentions, but you're figuring out, this is what I want. And then you kind of think, right, how am I going to get there? So what do I need to do to implement, to put things in place? So we're setting the stage. So as the moon is getting bigger, as it's waxing, we're able to start creating. So that's the Lakshmi, the abundance thing. And Lakshmi wears red. Red. I got married in red. I was only married 4 years. It was a complete disaster. But I've got Kaya, my daughter, from it. So I would say no more. I've been divorced since 2006. God, I'm a hell of an old wifey. Anyway, so I'm just going to quickly speak you through I'm going to speak you through what to expect in this new moon, and I've gathered loads of different information from so many different sources, but I'm going to try and keep it as short as I can. You know, I'm rubbish at that. And then we're going to do a little new moon ceremony, and then I'm going to set you free into the wilderness. Or you've maybe switched off by now. I'm not sure. My neighbours keep looking in the window at me. They're wondering what I'm doing, speaking to my cat litter box in a dress. I've got you set up on my cat litter box. It's so glamorous, this lifestyle. Anyway, so the new moon is in Libra. Every new moon we have a chance to change things. We do have a chance. We're not powerless. Don't ever think you're powerless. Get that fierceness in you. Be fierce, okay? And that's not being fierce doesn't mean being an asshole. Just to let you know that. So anyway, the new moon happens very soon. And in Libra, normally Libra means peace and harmony. It's normally the setting of, it's normally great and auspicious for new beginnings in relationships and love. And interestingly, the new moon in Libra is only once a year. And next year, my daughter gets married on the next new moon in Libra, which is another supermoon, and it's an auspicious time. So yeah, I'm really excited about that. She was supposed to get married in Ibiza last week, but obviously that didn't happen. So normally peace and harmony and love and greatness. So if you just kind of look at the surfacey thing, you think, great, new moon in Libra, just what we're needing. And I know that everyone's feeling a little bit of respite, relief, because the energies have been absolutely crazy and heavy, because it's been a waning moon. We're having to go through all the sludge. The planets are all in retrograde and blah. But anyway, there's supposed to be peace and harmony, but the new moon is squaring Saturn and Pluto in Capricorn. This is the same sort of way the planets were aligned back in March when we went on lockdown. So a lot of the astrologers are calling it the COVID cluster. Interestingly enough, my North Node in Capricorn, this whole thing has made me feel a little bit, because Mars is in Aries just now. My Mars is in Aries. Venus is in Virgo right now. My Venus is in Virgo. And interestingly enough, my moon is in Libra. So all the planets are aligning right now. It's a little bit spooky. I feel like I need to speak to somebody who really understands the planets to tell me what to expect, because it's not often the planets are mostly all in line in your chart. But I'm feeling really positive and fired up. Like yesterday I was, now here's me back in the room. So be aware that the energies are still, we've got the COVID cluster is back, but this is just going back old ground. If we didn't learn our lessons or take responsibility for some of our shit that we were supposed to have, because it hit and we had to kind of face our shadows, do our stuff. I certainly did. I've really worked hard with my business, with my personal life, with my practice. And it's like change, like helping along your karmic paths, my studies, and just clearing the ways and letting go of stuff that is not good for you anymore, and holding your hands up to your own shit and owning it and rectifying things. And if you've not done that, if you've still been hiding, it's going to bite you in the jacksie a little bit. Okay, so just be aware. Because this is all opposite Mars being in retrograde too. It's a little bit, sorry, I keep putting really strange faces. Anyway, it's good fun. So all these planets are cardinals, so it's a little bit like action on steroids energy. We're really like, let's get things done. Okay, so the advice for this new moon, this month coming, just do it. We just have to do it. So we need to act. So Mars in Aries, and this is why I think I'm all right with this, because that's all I know to do. But if you're not, if you're like, oh, swithering on, I'm not sure. Even if you're not sure, you need to make a decision. So Libra's kind of like language is, instead of acting, they're making a decision. So things need to, what do you need to do? So finding out where your house lies and your moon will help, okay? So we just don't have a choice. We can't just, and the fact is like this whole thing with, we don't know what's going to happen with people's jobs, just with life, we can't properly make plans, but we can't just sit back and do nothing. It's about taking some sort of action, but everyone's lives and paths are different, your dharmic path. So finding out what your dharma is will help you figure out what you need to just do. So the cardinal signs, Aries, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn, they're all pioneers. So they're all about taking action, leading, but they're also masters of ambiguity. So it's about like, and this is like where our governments have been really, isn't it? Because the more cryptic the situation, the more relaxed the guidelines. So we've really had that. It's like, well, you can't do this, but you can go and do this. You can't go and visit. You can't go to and visit a friend in their house, but you can go to the pub. It's and then that changes, and it's just like that's kind of the ambiguity of the situation. But in a way, what's happening now, the way the planets are aligned, from where we're getting, because there's this sense of ambiguity, but having to take action. This is about stepping out of the matrix. This stopping. We're all stuck in this like Western mind and linear thoughts where we're socially conditioned to be certain way, or we think that's the right thing. Well, is it the right thing? Why? Because you were brought up and you were told to think that. So it's about reconditioning our brains, or it's like let's neuroplasticity is there for a reason. Let's like get our neurons firing and think for ourselves instead of being told what we should be thinking, and do something about it. Okay. Interestingly enough, the guy who sang "I Did It My Way," his moon was in Libra and his Mars was in Aries. I don't know why I just told you that, but and why I gave you a little song, but just keeps me out of trouble. So we have to act, even if we're confused, even if there's difficulties, setbacks, or fear. We need to. There is setbacks, there is difficulties, there is fears. I've actually made a decision to move house during a pandemic, but I feel in my intuition that's the right thing to do. But from a linear Western perspective view, it's like, what the hell are you doing, Louisa? But actually, from working with my intuition, working with everything else, like stepping out of my own way, stepping out the matrix, I know that the decisions I'm making, they're not light, but they're wiser than I used to be. Lead from the heart, totally, and sometimes they were all right decisions. Love life was always a disaster because I really led with my heart, and now I will sit and I'm ready to be open, but I'm not going to be such a dick. Okay, so there's this new moon in Libra means purpose and freedom too. So we're kind of, the good things are for this craziness that's still, because everyone's going, oh right, we need some sort of respite. October is going to be a crazy month too, as you know. So we're used to Mars, Saturn and Pluto being in retrograde, so we're used to all this stuff. So it's like, let's just get on with it. It is what it is. Challenges are opportunities for spiritual growth. As I say to my students, that's the way I live. So taking action is actually a good thing. We need to step out of our own way. We need to take responsibility for what we've created. And remember that the universe always acts in our favor. So the ruler of the new moon is Venus. And as much as she's in Virgo, that's practical. She's helping us sort out our shit, really, and see things for what they are. Whether it feels comfortable or not, it's honest and practical. But Venus makes harmonious aspects to Jupiter and Uranus, not Uranus. So this can mean tension and pressure, but tension and pressure creates change, okay? So this gives us opportunities to liberate. Helps us to discover our enthusiasm and find a new sense of freedom. So just what we're looking for. Well, I am. So be aware that there may be unresolved emotional patterns emerging. But if we respond wisely, so if we keep working on ourselves, meditating, practicing, or what works for you, what really, it's about stilling the fluctuations of the mind stuff and choosing to sit in the eye of the storm and not react to situations, choosing to respond wisely instead of reacting, we can have the opportunity to break free from this kind of limitations that we unconsciously place in ourselves because of our childhood and our societal conditioning. Just what I've been speaking about. So really, the planetary alignment is giving us this opportunity to actually do the work. There's no excuses. There's a lot of people, I'll do it when the time is right. There is no right time, and this time is giving us this, it's so crazy, but let's just get on with it. So Venus is in Virgo, which is where my Venus is, and it means that we become the people we allow into our lives. So I think this is another thing, the lockdown thing. I've got no more time for bullshit or inauthenticity. It's about being real. And because you're only allowed a certain amount of people and you're only allowed to, you're choosing your time and your people wisely. You don't want to just, it used to be you'd go and meet people and you come away feeling a little bit, ooh. No, there's none of that anymore. Be around the people that really increase your vibrational frequency. But, they will have times when they feel low and you can help lift them up. And, that's what friendship and family is about. But I've got no time for people who are going to be assholes and projecting and saying sorry, but then not doing anything about it. And it's instead of allowing that, there doesn't need to be any fighting. It's just about setting healthy boundaries, stepping away. Loving from distances, or choosing to just not make actions. You find that some of the friendships, the good thing with me is that when I thought I was going to be dying just before, just during lockdown, when I was told that I might have serious melanoma, it was some old friends got in touch with me that I hadn't seen or heard from for a long time, and we came back to that bond because it clears the way, that thing. And some people I didn't hear from at all. And it's the same thing when I miscarried various times, or when my husband had cancer. People hide or disappear from you, and they only want to hang off your happy coattails. And COVID has given everyone that opportunity to choose their humans. And I'm really lucky to have amazing humans in my life, and just make sure that you guys do too. And I think some people, the way that lockdown has been, there has been people in really unhappy relationships or stuck in their houses, and they financially can't escape. And I really feel for you. So don't suffer on your own, and reach out to your humans as well. There should be no blame or shame, and you don't feel bad for being stuck in a really awful relationship. I have been there before as well. So anyway, so moving, this is the Venus in Virgo. See, I'm like, yeah, I revel in this shite, really. So we become who we share our energy with, and we need to pay attention to who we trust as well, okay? So Venus in Virgo purifies us from what is not authentic and what is not honest. And it allows us to make space for connections that are real and genuine. It's kind of what I've been teaching my yoga teacher trainees. It's just really about being authentically yourself. And if people aren't okay with that, that's okay. People don't like you. They don't have to be around you. Just don't try and be somebody you're not, and don't try and, I tried to water down who I was to, you know, when I was married, my husband used to say, go and not be yourself so much when we go for dinner, because it's like, I was a bit embarrassing for him, but actually it was because I was with the wrong person. Like, you shouldn't have to be asked, or don't wear that sort of outfit when we go there. Well, do you know, I've learned now not to water myself down, because why should you? Anyway, that's my Venus in Virgo. Anyone else who's Venus in Virgo, you'll get what I'm speaking about. So it's not about being critical, it's about being brutally honest and authentic, which can sometimes affect people. So let's go into, so a couple of other little points of this new moon. There's lots of stuff going on. There's going to be unexpected social encounters. There's going to be fated interactions and synchronicities. There's been loads of synchronicities for me right now, and I love it. I absolutely love it. It's a bit spooky, but it's very good. So we need to negotiate and mediate in order to find compromises that are truly healthy, that promote balance and don't diminish our self-respect. That's what this new moon is about, okay? So it's trine us to the north. We've been speaking about north nodes and south nodes, but it's trine to the north node in Gemini, which increases the karmic relevance of this supermoon, which means that we have the potential to open up new paths, karmic opportunities, ongoing learning. Keep your mind open, be curious, and step out the matrix. Yes, okay? So let's work with a little bit of a new moon ceremony and see where we're at. I'm going to quickly pull a card for us and see what we need to listen to. Ooh, the Valley of Coins. So the Valley of Coins, let's have a wee look and see what he's saying for himself. The Valley of Coins. I'm rubbish at doing this malarkey, I tell you. Yeah, here we go. This means deep concentration and application, study, scholarship, reflection, respect for knowledge, and a desire for learning and new ideas. So there we go. So if you're wanting to take that step, take that jump, I've just been accepted to do a BA in honours in humanities, in arts and humanities. So, and I'm going to specialise in philosophy, interestingly enough. So that starts in January. So yeah, so that was just this week. So yeah, so let's get into a nice seated position. We're going to start off, I'm flashing my boobs here, sorry about that. Now I'm flashing my pants. It's all going a little bit crazy. Okay, so we're going to come into a seated position, and we're going to work with a mudra. So the mudra is the Durga mudra. A mudra is a hand position. So this is the Durga mudra. Okay, so it feels really comfortable. I wake up quite a lot in the mornings when I'm holding Durga mudra. So waking up being invincible, there you go. I normally wake up looking like Bob Geldof, actually. Nothing about being invincible, but he was good with Band-Aid. Anyway, I'm going to recite a few rounds of the Durga mantra. I apologize in advance for my terrible singing. It's not singing, I'm chanting a mantra, okay? So calling in the power of Durga, and when you have any sort of, this is my, I've introduced my altar to most of my students, but this is my altar. You can place, I've got most things on it that things that really mean a lot to me. I've got my crystals, and I've got things that represent each element as well, and some of the deities, and I'm not going to go into great detail about that, but I normally clear the space. So I was doing a dark moon ceremony earlier, and I used a lot of Palo Santo, which is like a lovely smelling wood that clears the energy. I've already done that. I've lit some incense as well, and just really cleared the energy. It's best to do that first to really set the stage. So we're in that stage, and you've got Durga Mudra, and the mantra is Om Dum Durgaye Namaha. So you can join me if you want for a few rounds. Then you're going to keep your eyes closed. We're going to sit, we're going to sit in meditation for just a few minutes, and then you're going to sit, and if you've got pen or a piece of paper, you're going to write down your intentions, your wishes for the new moon. Okay, so fingers in Durga Mudra, closing your eyes if you like, and here we go. Om Dum Durgaye Namaha. 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 Keeping your eyes closed, connecting into your heart center, smoothing out your breath, being aware of any rough edges in your exhale. Smooth them out. Relaxing your jaw, your shoulders, behind your eyeballs. Relaxing your pelvis. We hold so much emotions and tension in our pelvic area. It's coming down into your belly, breathing into your belly. Keeping the breath nice and smooth. From here, as you exhale, you're going to breathe any negativity and fear right down into the ground, right into the core of the earth. So give all your fears, negativity, self-doubt down to Mother Earth. As you inhale, allow Mother Earth to transmute that and send love, healing, positivity back up through your body, up through Sushumna channel, your spine. As you exhale, coming all the way back down and sending your worries into the earth and allowing Gaia, Mother Earth, to support you, transmute it, create your challenges into opportunities. As you're breathing in, feel that energy empowering you. So the next time you're breathing, feel the earth coming up from the earth into your heart center. As you exhale, feel the flame, the power of the love in your heart expanding. So as you inhale, feel that energy coming up from the earth, up the spine, into your heart center, into the flame in your heart. And as you exhale, this flame in your heart glows brighter. Keep working with this visualization. Now from here, as you inhale, you're going to bring love and positivity and healing from the divine, from the sky, from Father Sky, down through the crown chakra and into your heart. And as you exhale, feel the flame in your heart getting bigger. Calling in the energy from the divine. Coming through the crown chakra, down through Ajna chakra, your wisdom, your intuition into your heart. And as you exhale, feel that bright flame or spark within your heart grow larger. Place your hands in Anjali Mudra into your eyebrow center, closing your eyes, calling in your intuition, your wisdom from your third eye center. Almost feel a pulse of energy move from your midbrain to your third eye with your breath. By placing pressure on your third eye, you're stimulating your ocular cardiac, the ocular cardiac nerve, which actually helps to stimulate your vagus nerve, which is also good for calming you down, making you feel happy. But we're also bringing awareness to our third eye center, calling in our guides, our ancestors, to help guide us and lead us to where we need to be. Sending them thanks and gratitude. And sending love and gratitude and thanks to yourself. Grateful to yourself, knowing that you are enough. You are utterly perfect as you are, and you're exactly where you're supposed to be. Bring your hands down into your heart center. And then slowly opening your eyes. I'm going to give you a few minutes to write down what came up for you, what you need to do to move forwards, what do you want to bring into your life. So just start to write. So remember what we were speaking about. We need to take action. It's about being around the right humans. It's about making wise choices. It's about our relationships in our life. It's about karmic opportunities and learning. It's about keeping your mind open, stepping out the matrix. So coming out of your linear head, stepping out of your heart, stepping out of your head, and into your heart, and just writing what you feel as opposed to what you think. So you're going to put that things to the one side, and again, close your eyes and visualize in your mind's eye the intentions that you've placed on your piece of paper or in your mind. Imagine them already manifested. Really let yourself go and really allow your imagination to see this picture crystal clear. Feel the feelings that come with it. Really vision that it's already here. How would you feel? Really breathe into this feeling and knowing. Taking your hands into Anjali Mudra. And I'm going to end this little new moon session by saying, today is a great day to manifest the shit out of abundance. Excuse the language. Namaste.